So I am ready to rumble. And what I mean by that is I now have an account at rumble.com. That's right. Now, you might be curious as to why I'm at rumble.com, which apparently allows you to monetize right off the bat. I have to look more into that. But you're probably wondering why I'm there, or at least I created an account there. Well, just like with VENMO, which is my other account under my BW Rose's name, I went there due to the fact that yesterday, around 4 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, Pacific time, if you will, 4 o'clock right on the dot, I ended up receiving a copyright strike notice on my email. And it was for a video that barely had, if didn't have at all, any, copyright infringement content. As a matter of fact, it was a video that pretty much was always public. There was nothing being held against it. And that video was my re-upload of my Christmas cartoon flashback episode, my second one that is, on Yogi's First Christmas. So I looked into this, and I'm thinking, well, why did this one get struck? Is Warner Brothers that desperate to keep, the properties, their IPs protected? Has David Zaslav gone mad with power? No. What it is apparently somebody, and as I further looked into this, apparently it's somebody that's posing under a false email. That makes it look like it represents Warner Brothers, but it's not. And how do I know this? Because I Googled this email. I copied and pasted this email, and I put it in the Google search, and I found out that I'm not the only one that's been dealing with this. Apparently, other people have been dealing with it. Somebody dealt with it last year, or actually two people dealt with it last year, and I'm sure others as well, and now I'm dealing with it. But why? Why is this person doing it? Well, unfortunately, we live in a day and age where people just like to be cyberbullies. They like to be trolls. They like to watch the whole world burn, to quote Alfred in The Dark Knight. They just like to watch the whole world burn. And it's just unfortunate. Very unfortunate to hear that, to hear and just believe that, but unfortunately it's a reality. Now, I've always stood by the stance, in my opinion, that some of these trolls, some of these, false accounts and all that what they really are in reality is just a bunch of, I would say, adolescents in college, high school, middle school maybe, that basically are either unpopular because of who they are and they want to make life miserable for everybody else, or in the case of a site like, let's say, YouTube or VENMO or Rumble or whatever, they're the kind of people that are like, hey, we're going to do this to random people at times unless you give us what we want. And if you're wondering and curious as to what I mean, what they want, well, in my opinion, because I even mentioned this to Animat, that's right, Animat of Animat's Classic Reviews, the animation look back, his Animat, crazy cartoon podcast, if you will. When he was doing unboxing videos or package opening videos a few years ago, I sent him a letter. And one of the things I pointed out to him was the fact that apparently, because he was getting hounded too, apparently people were hounding him as well over what he was reviewing and talking about. Probably still deals with that to this day. But I basically told him that the reason people are doing this to you is because you are not giving them what they want. And what they want, in my opinion, is XXX rated material, which I think is the case for all of YouTube. I think that's the case for all the content creators here on YouTube, that get targeted with this. It's basically this group of people's, message being sent to the YT, being sent to Dailymotion, being sent to Rumble, being sent to VENMO, and whatnot, that, hey, if you don't want us to continue doing this, give us what we want. Give us give us that XXX rated material so we could be happy. And to me, it's like, if you are that desperate, for that XXX rated material, then why don't you just tell YouTube yourself? Well, I guess apparently they probably did, but that's just my opinion. That's just my theory. Anyway, unfortunately, because of that, and before I researched it and everything, because I wasn't sure, and I'm sure I'm not the only one that's dealt with this. Like, you see copyright strike, you see Warner Brothers attached to it, and you see this email that says that supposedly represents Warner Brothers, attached to it. And you say to yourself, well, I got no choice right now. I'm going to have to wait 90 days or whatever to put my videos back up if I want to put them back up. So what do? You either unlist them, you either make them private, or, in my case, you just take them down. And that's what I did. Now, I didn't take all the Yogi Bear stuff down. I just took down like the fan vids and the original Christmas cartoon flashback and everything. And I do intend to put them back up down the line. Well, maybe not the cartoon flashback one, unless I do have that downloaded on my computer. I'll have to look. But yeah, basically, I took them all down, mainly due to the fact that I did not want to risk anything in the near future. I did not want to risk anything anymore in the near future until at least the 90 days are up. But once I did discover, after doing that, once I did discover what this email account really was, I went online and I contacted YouTube. I contacted them, via social media and, so on. I'm not going to say where, but via social media. And I told Team YouTube that basically this happened. And unfortunately, they can't do anything about the video because I deleted it. But obviously they did appreciate me informing them of what's going on. They did tell me also to delete the initial tweet. I think that's what they told me. The initial tweet with the email I provided with them, or provided for them, for safety reasons. And that's what I did. But unfortunately, the damage has been done. Now this is not the first time myself or anybody else has dealt with false claims of, strikes and all that, apparently. Last year when I was working at Target, before work and during lunch, if I had the opportunity, I'd go on my camera, I'd do some videos, my camera on my phone, that is, or even go on here on this microphone, or even on the mic on my phone. And, I would talk about, this situation. I brought it up a couple of times. And apparently I'm not the only one. Others have dealt with this, again, like I mentioned before, or as well, I should say. They've dealt with it before and around the same time. And what it was back then, last year or so, is, the fact that we had copyright claims or potential copyright claims sent our way for videos that didn't even involve any music whatsoever. And these were claims by supposedly WMG, Warner Music Group. And I looked at that, I'm thinking, what the hell? What is this? So apparently there was no claim whatsoever. It was just a troll job. It's just a troll job, apparently. But this though I think is like that next step they're taking. Like, whoever was behind those initial false claims of videos that had WMG music but really didn't, I think this is like their next step. Like, they're realizing, okay, we failed there, we'll do this now. And like I said, I'm not the only one that's dealt with this. A few other people have dealt with it. And like I said, I told YouTube, and from the sounds of it, they appreciated me informing them, and even me giving them the email before I deleted the tweet with the email and everything. They appreciated that, and they're going to look into it, because apparently they say they apparently what they told me is they do not appreciate people abusing the copyright rules. They do not appreciate that. They do not appreciate people going out and making false claims and, copyright claims, and, wanting and potentially issuing false copyright strikes because, they want to be trolls and everything. It's like I said, if it's who I think it is, if it's the kind of people I think it is, then they should just let YouTube know, hey, you don't want us to do this anymore, give us what we want. Give us that adult XXX material, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're the kind of, if it's those kind of people, then why don't they just come out and say it? Now, there is the other off chance that there are potentially people that just want to make money, but they're going about it the wrong way. I mean, it's very, very reminiscent, if you will, of a situation that happened a couple of years ago with certain, when PlayStations and Xboxes were released and everything, and people got them. People were getting them. They were selling like hotcakes during the holiday season. I think this is when PS4s and the Xbox Series X, if you will, were coming out, and everything. People were buying them. People were buying them up. And on Christmas, when a lot of people, even kids, were getting them, they couldn't log into anything. Nothing would let them log in. It's like, what did they do? Get a broken system? And that's what they were wondering. It's like, wait a minute, did I get a broken system or something? I mean, it powers on and all that. People were curious, like, what's going on? Only to find out it's a certain group of people, mostly very, very intelligent software people, mostly, I would assume, kids. Well, I wouldn't say kids, but like young adults, adolescents, coming out and saying, hey, yeah, we're the ones that did this to you, but you know what? We can repair it. Just pay us some money. Just pay us money. It's like they went out of the way to ruin people's holiday or Christmas morning, if you will. Mostly kids, that got these systems, all because they wanted money. And there is an off chance that that's what these people are. That sent out these false WMG copyright claims for videos that didn't even involve WMG music, or now these copyright strikes. Apparently it is just maybe there's an off chance it's just a group of people that want money. They're probably trying to send a message to YouTube of, hey, we know we're going to get reported and everything, but if you don't want us to do that anymore, we can help. It's like, hey, we know we're going to get reported and everything, but if you don't want us to do that anymore, then you know what you do? You hire us on and pay us some money. And it's like, really? You guys don't want to go out and get a job? You just want to sit there and be like, give us money, 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 and we'll stop doing this stuff. It just shows you how bad things have gotten in this world, especially with technology, when this kind of stuff happens. Now, hopefully, after myself and others have let YouTube know about this over the past year or so, because it's been going on for a year, that hopefully they address this, they take care of it. And, they improve, not just YouTube, but Rumble, VENMO, Dailymotion, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter. Hopefully they improve on their automated systems in detecting what's, real and what's false. Because these automated systems of theirs are just like the AIs we use on Bing, on Mobians.ai, ChatGPT, Bard. They are still learning. They are still learning. And this, to me, is a situation to where it's going to be the biggest test ever for them to prove whether or not these AIs, can do the job, correctly. Because if not, then you go old school. And as my mom says, sometimes the best way to go is the human way. Well, she doesn't say this, but she always insinuates this in her own way, that the best way is the old-fashioned way. And that old-fashioned way is manual human, hands, manual human hands and eyes, if you will, that take care of this. So hopefully these video sites like YouTube, Rumble, Dailymotion, VENMO, BitChute, Facebook, Twitter, hopefully they get, their act together. Hopefully they ensure, that this kind of stuff does not happen again. And they basically really just, thoroughly search, they thoroughly fix and upgrade, and build better, within the AI that they're using. Because this needs to stop. This needs to stop. It's no wonder people go out and they, on YouTube, and go and create secondary channels because they know this kind of stuff happens. I have my Brian's Discussions channel here on YouTube, which I might have to go to eventually. I might have to go to down the line just so I can, have a channel to do my YouTube on. Just so I can have something to do my YouTube on. I'm going to have to probably go to that. But we'll see. We will see. I might have to create a new one down the line. Who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, this is something that should not happen. This is something that needs to be addressed. And it's gonna cause a lot of people to venture out, elsewhere. It's gonna cause a lot of people to venture, elsewhere, to upload the content. Do you think YouTube's gonna want to lose James Rolfe, of Cinemassacre, Angry Video Game Nerd, to Rumble? Do you think they're gonna want that? No. Do you think they're gonna want to lose Angry Joe of Angry Joe Show? No, because with Angry Joe goes a sponsorship of G Fuel. Do you think they're going to want to lose someone like Doug Walker's, Channel Awesome, Nostalgia Critic? No. And why would they not want to lose them? Because they bring a big audience. They bring a very big audience, believe it or not. And honestly, do you think they're going to want to lose UFC to Rumble or VENMO or any of them? UFC has a channel on Rumble, but guess what? Do you think they're going to want to lose them full time to Rumble? No. Do you think they're going to want to lose Paramount to Rumble? No. The actual Warner Brothers and Disney and all them to Rumble? No. And the same could be said if the shoe was on the other foot. Do you think Rumble, if they had all those partners and content creators on their side, do you think they'd want to lose them to YouTube? No. So something has to be done, and I pray to God it gets done. Glory to God, it gets done. And hopefully letting Team YouTube know, and as quickly as they responded in return, they take care of this. Because this needs to be taken care of, not just for me, but for any other content creator out there. Because think about it this way. You think Linkara liked getting a copyright strike because of his review over a year ago as his alter ego Moriarty for the Long Box of the Damned Halloween reviews? Do you think he liked that? Hell no. But who's to say that was the actual Japanese manga company that did that? Who's to say it was not just people posing on them? I'm sure Linkara Lewis looked into it, but it's like, do you think he wants to deal with this again? Huh? Do you think he wants to deal with this again? No. No. It's not a good thing because, it's basically saying, hey, strike one, one down. You're one down to, it's like you're down one strike to your last strike. It's, it's up to you to make sure that doesn't happen again. Do you think he likes that? Do you think he likes the fact that looking back on the fact that, I'm sure he's cleared it by now, but do you think he likes looking back on the fact that if he was to go through his historical stats on his YouTube channel, what did he make here, how many views he got here, how many likes and all that, but then also on the side, see the history of strikes and, strikes, community and copyright that he had. Do you think he likes seeing that part of it? No. Nobody does. So hopefully this gets addressed, this gets taken care of, because this is something that should not have happened, period. And it's a lesson for me too. And that lesson is to always look at the email carefully. Always take what you see with a grain of salt because it may not be true. But hopefully they take care of this, because what this does for YouTube, just like any site, it would do the same with Rumble, it would do the same with VENMO, it would do the same with Dailymotion. What it does is it makes them look bad. It makes them look, in the eyes of a lot of people, and even the content creators on their site, it makes them look incompetent, and they don't want that. I wouldn't want that if I was them. I wouldn't want to look incompetent. I wouldn't want to look bad and everything. I wouldn't want my public image to look, as the #1 video uploading site in the world. I wouldn't want it to be tarnished. So hopefully they take care of this stuff, and they take care of it soon. Because nobody needs to deal with this, period. Nobody. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys, on this whole situation. Let me know if you've dealt with this before, and let me know if it's caused you to jump over to places like Rumble and VENMO. And I will provide a link to my Rumble channel down in the description. You guys can check it out there. I have a couple of videos up now. Hopefully more will be coming. And the likelihood of this, that might just be the case. But let me know what your thoughts are, guys. And until then, I'm out.